that one.
All right, notification went out. Should be get the folks on. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Archery opener. Where's everybody hunting at this weekend?
I know where I was at.
I was in the old Saginaw County.
I was not hunting.
Hey, so was it just me, or did you have the same problem too, Ray? Because they were calling for northeast, and dude, it was coming northwest, it was coming east. I mean, it was.
It seemed like to me that because of that hurricane coming up, we did have a main northeast, but it would go west, northeast, west. What's up, Mark? I work with Mark. Hey, brother, look behind me, Mark, over here. What's hanging? Got one tonight. No, but the wind was swirling at the end of the night. It started swirling.
Yeah.
Yep. I got worried about that when them does came in. I was like, oh no.
That's stay invisible, man.
Hey,
I had my invisible dude. You're downwind of me. Never got busted.
Opening morning, I had that buck behind me. It was a perfect wind because it was northeast. Come around. Thanks, Mark. And he come around and he got downwind of me, and I had all this stay invisible on me. Never, ever even detected me. Nothing tonight. I've never had a deer whistle at me all week, and I was like, this stuff it's working, man. You know what I mean?
That's just because you're not good looking. Nothing's whistling at you.
Hey, look. I'm really good looking tonight.
Ray put on makeup for the video tonight.
Hey, man, I got out of the woods late. I just got this thing hung up. The boys left me. They were like, you got this? I'm like, yeah, I got this.
Nice. Well, hey, welcome, everybody. We're going to go live. We're live right now, and we just want to talk about opening weekend. So I honestly don't have much to talk about because I had to work. But we got Ray and Bill with us tonight, and they're going to kind of talk us through the action. Brad, Austin, and Kyle all made it out. I know Kyle saw a few deer up in the UP. He had some coyotes chase him off opening morning. But he saw a few more deer, he was saying. He also had some people walk through, so that kind of messed up his hunting. Brad looked like he had some real good action. He saw deer, both yesterday and this morning and yesterday evening. Said he watched a real nice buck. Couldn't really make out what it was because of the light, but and then Austin, I'm not sure how he did, but he's hunting over there in Muskegon County, Newaygo. So let's see, Bill, Saginaw County, what's going on? How was your weekend, brother?
The deer are moving, man.
What's up, Brad?
Opening morning, it was
Thanks, buddy.
So chilly. It was just perfect weather. They moved a lot at first light. I mean, they moved up until about 11 a.m. Saturday. You know, they moved a good part of the day. Took a break, came back out in the stand probably 2:30, 3 o'clock, and still, seen a lot of does. This morning was a little different with it being, a little warmer. I didn't notice the amount of activity as I did yesterday, but they were still moving. I seen 5 this morning. Just before dark tonight, though, they were on the move. This morning I had a really big deer come in at, I think it was 30 yards, but it was just a silhouette. I couldn't tell what it was. So it kind of meandered off. So that one's still a mystery, but and then, I sent you guys that video in the group chat of that doe. I really thought about taking that, and took a lot of willpower, and so I passed it. And then like I told you guys, I seen that little 8 tonight, and I thought about taking him too, but he lives another day.
Now, Bill, I would question about how small that 8-point was, because I saw pics of that, and that's a nice buck, dude. I'm surprised you passed that guy up.
I have a feeling later in the season I'm going to be regretting it. Day 2, and I've got a couple of I got some more trail cam pics of some little bit bigger bucks, and I don't know. The more and more I look back at the trail cam pictures, I probably should have taken that one tonight. It'll come back to haunt me. I'm sure it will, but at least at this time, I can say I passed them up. we'll see what happens.
Right on. Yeah, like you said, it's only day 2, so you got a lot of season left, Bill.
Thanks, Cody.
It's still early.
Right. Cody, he says, hunted opening night, Ionia County, seen 4 does across the beans, a little warm and windy. Going to try it tomorrow morning, and congratulations. Good job, Ray.
Yeah, Cody, thanks.
Yeah, Cody, good luck tomorrow, man. Hopefully you see some more deer. So, Ray, your opening weekend, you had some friends out in the woods with you, too, so you had like a little hunt party going on.
Yep, had my buddy Julian come from, he lives over by Grand Rapids, so he actually stayed the weekend with us. So, we hunted the same spot. Opening morning, we went to where Julian doubled up last year, and we've had some success off this kind of a overlooked little spot. We got out there opening morning, and I got him to his tree because he was having a hard time. I was like, boom, right here's your tree. He got up. I went way back where I'd already put a stand and I had my camera up and had some good pictures of some deer. I'm like, this is the spot. Well, I'm walking back there and I see this light. And I'm like, oh man, somebody's already in here, I'm on public land. So I'm like, dang it. But I got my stand here, So believe it or not, I couldn't find my stand right away because it was pitch black with it was you breathe and it's all misty and whatever. I walked in a circle in there and I'm like, oh man, I just blew everything up. And this guy's like, oh, this guy's a clown. And I'm like, that'd be me being a clown. And I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. So I turn on my OnX app and I'm like, whoa, dude, I'm way over here by the field. So I come back around and I see this ladder stand and I'm like, okay, whatever. Now I know where I'm at. I go back over and I'm still looking around and I got my light shining in the trees and this guy's shining his light and I'm like, I'm hunting here, dude. So I apologize if he's watching this. I had nowhere else to go. So I found it. I got in my stand quietly. After I'd already blew everything up. And I thought, this guy's, not happy with me. But he dealt with it. So anyways, I got up on my stand and like Bill said, it was a really awesome morning. It was calm and it was cool. And the wind was a northeast wind, which my app said it was supposed to be a southwest wind, which I thought, oh no, man, this is not how I set this up. I'm gonna get blown out of there. And sat there. Julian's texting me and he's, man, I ain't seen no deer. And it's like 7:45. And I went, dude, I literally texted him and I went, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, watch what happens. 5 minutes later, dude, I just seen a 6-point. I had a 4-point. He's right below me, and he passed him up, which was cool. And I'm like, I told you. And I'm sitting there going, dang, he's seeing all these deer again, and I ain't seeing nothing. What's going on here? This is the second year in a row, bro. And all of a sudden, I hear a little behind me, and I look back, and I'm like, oh, here he is. The 6-point was working his way down in the thick, and I literally got up on one of my doe bleats, and he looked and didn't really pay attention, and then I got out one of my other calls, and JPO actually, and he turned right around, and then he's like, okay, and he coming, and then he just kind of decided to hang up about 45 yards, and it was a little 6-point, and I thought, well, if he comes in here with my recurve, I might try to whack him, but he moseyed on off, and I decided, well, I ain't shooting him with a compound. I took both bows out that morning, but Julian texted me, had a few more deer go by, and he, a couple doe, whatever, and then we decided, we're going to hang it up about 11 o'clock. So we hung it up, went home, did our thing, came back out, same. I decided not to hunt there because there was another guy that came in from the north, and I was like, man, I don't want to have that pressure right there, and I don't want them guys thinking, man, this guy's blowing up my stuff. So I decided to go hang in another spot over by him, and there was acorns dropping. Well, we took our mobile hunting equipment. I got up. We sat there. I sat there. He's going, man, dude, I just seen that 4-point again. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, man, there's another doe that came through. I'm like, dude, I ain't seeing nothing. I never seen a deer. And I'm like, is this how my season's going to go? This is not cool. But We got done hunting, come home, did our thing, went right back out to the same spots for this morning. And I thought, well, they'll be there in the morning. This is usually a better morning spot. I'm sitting there, and neither one of us seen nothing. Get a jingle from my buddy Chad. Buck down, and I went, no way, dude. He's over on private property. So I'm like, well, we didn't hunt late because he needed help. So we busted out of there about 9:30, which is way early. But we went and helped Chad, and then Chad tonight decided to, hey man, I got my buck. Why don't I come out and help you, video you? And I'm like, really? You're gonna come out and do that? So we all decided to go to a whole different area. And another spot where I've killed a couple deer, and sure enough, Chad and I go back there. Julian goes across the street. We're sitting there. We were there early, man. We were sitting by 2:30. So we're like, man, it's gonna be a long afternoon. We sat up in this spot where there's a creek, runs through this whole deal. They go to the beams on the private, and they come out of this thick stuff. And it's down in a low area where there's just tons of nettles. And deer, believe it or not, love nettles. They eat the crap out of the tops of nettles. The ones that, sting you and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've seen them there in the past, and I'm like, you know what? We're right in the spot. I'm live because we're doing a thing. My wife just walked in. But anyways, we're sitting there, and we got all set up, and Chad's doing all the videoing, and this is actually live. Hi, that's my wife.
Yeah. Let's just got out of work.
Yeah, so did I, hauling deer out of the woods. Anyways, hi.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
Mm-hmm. See ya. Anyways, we're sitting there and we're chatting. We're just carrying on. And this northwest wind, I'm like, man, anytime something's gonna come over here. And I'm like, man, I don't know. This wind is ridiculous tonight. But it started to calm down a little bit, and I literally pulled out a couple of my deer calls, and I used doe bleeds. I no longer did that, and we see one about 65 yards. He's got a little video of it, and I'm like, man, there's a deer right there. And that one just kind of turned and went to the east, and I was like, that thing go. It's really thick in here. And we're waiting away, we're dinking around and talking again, and I'm like, man, it's getting kind of prime time. I better shut up. About 5:30. I decided to lay him out one more time, the grunts. I did that, and I looked back at him, and I said, I don't know, dude. And it's way early. I looked down to my left, and I went, whoa, man. I said, right here. There's two of them coming in right now. They were right there eating on them nettles, and I'm like, and they're upwind, the wind was perfect. Sure enough, they come around, and I was debating the whole time. I'm like, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Are them big enough? And Chad's like, dude, the one in the back's the big one, And I mean, it wasn't they both look big. When you see them in the video, it'd be like, which one am I going to shoot? And I'm like, I'll take the back one, possibly. I had already had it back, and one worked around, and second one got there, and she just stopped at the perfect spot. I didn't have to stop her or nothing. And I was like, 18 yards. Ugh, you're in trouble. And I mean, the arrow just perfect, man. He got that thing, bam, and she went about 40, 45 yards, dropped, and I ended up getting a doe tonight. So our decision to change spots and
paid off.
Yep.
Paid off. Nice.
And she's back here hanging behind right over here. Yeah.
She looks good right there. She looks nice.
Yeah. Real nice addition.
Hey, go ahead, Bill.
What did you think of those wrecks, Ray? What was your opinion?
Oh, that's another thing. The wreck broadheads. Yeah, I'll brag that and stay invisible. Dude, I'd already seen what Chad's did because he whacked that buck in the morning, and I'm like, man, sweet. Hey, thanks, Brenda. Yeah, blew right through. You'll see the shot. It didn't go completely through, but I shot. I just got done telling Chad I'm not going to get him in the shoulder. What did I do? I got it right back of the shoulder, but it went through and come right out here, and it went through both lungs and top of the heart, and that arrow stuck all the way through her, so it was sticking out on both sides, like this, and it snapped in half. But that broadhead it didn't damage it at all, and left a heck of a blood trail. It went 40, 45 yards. It's all on video. Boom, done. So they're awesome. And Stay Invisible. I used 2 of their products today, Dirty Nuts and the cedar spray. And I mean, I sprayed it all over me and on my bag and my hat and everything. And they weren't downwind of us, but nothing smelled me all weekend. So it worked out perfect.
All right. Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, Bill, I was going to ask that question. So nice job, man. We're on the same wavelength there. So now you guys have both deployed rec broadheads. Bill on a bear and Ray on this doe tonight. So overall, what would you rate rec broadheads? First impressions on deployment?
5 stars.
All day long. 5-star.
They're durable. Yep. They fly extremely well. They do their job.
Yep. I can't wait till you guys see the video that he got. You guys are going to be like, what the heck?
What kind of blood trail is that leaving for you guys? I mean, you got a really good shot on that deer race, so I imagine it was probably pretty good. But
I took pictures. I will end up posting something somewhere. But dude, just it was. I was like, oh yeah, it wrecked them. It wrecked them.
I got that bear, dude, in Canada, and that thing made it. I don't know, 15.
Thanks, Missy.
Thing was spraying. Wreck broadheads for the win.
Nice. I can't wait to deploy mine.
You got to get out in the woods, Tim.
Hey, Thursday.
Thursday it is.
My countdown is a little different than everybody else's, so I got Thursday. I can't wait to get out there. So let's talk about Stay Invisible. What'd you guys think of that? It's kind of new. So Rec and Stay Invisible are new partners with us this year. So we're trying this stuff out for the first time. So we want to give you our first impressions of the products we're using.
Opening morning. Oh, thanks, Brian. Opening morning, I used the Stay Invisible, same thing. I kind of sprayed down with both and just put it all over everything I had in boots, everything. And I wasn't expecting that northeast wind. Well, the buck did actually come in upwind, but when he circled around, he got downwind of me. Never knew I was there. Never even had a clue. And I was grunting at him, and he looked, and then the wind's blowing in him. I'm like, dude, he don't smell me at all. So it worked. Now, tonight the deer came upwind. We did spray down, and they were just getting in where they were getting right where we walked in. And I thought, man, they're going to nail us. They didn't nail us. So, so far, I'm thoroughly impressed. I think I went through half a bottle of both of them, actually. I was spraying that crap all over me. It worked great. It was awesome.
Nice. Bill, did you try out Stay Invisible?
Definitely. I had my Dirty Nuts tonight. And, I had it yesterday too, but tonight was one of the real tests because I had a lot of deer crossing up front to the left, and I had planned for the northeast wind. But I had a couple deer tonight come up from right behind me. 15 yards behind the stand. Never winded me, never snorted, nothing. I say for sure maybe they did, maybe they didn't smell me and they just figured, hey, this guy's not a threat, but I will definitely continue to use it in the future.
Right on.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Firmly.
So, and especially with the price, I don't know if you guys have really compared pricing. You look at a Stay Invisible product, and then you go to Myers and go look at Scent Block or something.
Yeah.
$17.
Yeah, big difference.
Yep.
Man, I could get a whole bunch of Stay Invisible for the price of one bottle.
Hey, I'm sticking with it seriously because look at that. When I get all Dirty Nuts, they usually get winded. Nice.
So yeah, they have pretty peculiar names for their different scents. So just their regular old scent eliminator is No Stank. So if you don't want No Stank, you spray down with No Stank.
I better get that.
They have Dirty Nuts, which is supposed to smell like earth and like acorn.
It doesn't smell like a gym, I promise.
What?
It doesn't smell like a gymnasium.
Good. Then they have Busted Nuts, which is just supposed to like an acorn cover scent. And then Ray, you talked about the cedar spray. I think that's all up in cedar.
Dude, I love that. Yeah, all up in cedar. almost was up in Cedar. Anyways, I love that stuff. It's perfect. It worked great.
So they got a good marketing scheme with the names of their scents. So
so far, I got nothing but good things to. Seriously,
Yeah.
I had never had a deer win me, and usually I got deer blowing at me everywhere, and it's like it didn't happen.
Right. Well, that's cool. Hey, real quick, let's talk about setup. So, Bill, you were hunting private?
I was on the farm. And I'm really lucky and thankful for where I have to hunt. We got a large portion of property behind us and to the side where both the neighbors don't hunt, and all the neighbors are on the same schedule with the QDMA. So, I'm really fortunate with the private I've got.
Nice. Now, are you hunting? Obviously, you call it a farm, so I'm guessing there's some ag close by. But are you sitting in hardwoods, or what are you like? What's your setup look like?
Up on the Oak Ridge. That's where I sat tonight. And then I've got a low spot up front of the property that sits right next to the hayfield. And deer activity is solid right now, but we've got 200 acres of corn right across the road. So I can only imagine that's holding up a lot of deer right now.
Oh yeah. So
the season's just starting to kick off. It's still early. But yeah, once they pull that corn down across the street from me, my tactics are going to go from sitting in single stands to, me with a pop-up chasing them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find them anywhere I need to go. I'll set up cameras, run the trails. I'll definitely end up connecting.
Nice. Okay. Well, hey, it sounds like it's working out so far. You saw a lot of deer this weekend, so Ray, you kind of already talked about your setup, but for those that weren't on earlier, maybe talk about it one more time, like what you were looking for on the public land this weekend.
Well, it's a little bit different than hunting at private, and I mean we have a spot on private too here in Clinton County. Chad and I do. That's where Chad got a 6-point this morning, and he used a rec broadhead, by the way, and he whacked and stacked it. So that thing didn't go far either. So rec broadheads are the ticket. But instead of hunting crops where we hunt in public, we're hunting spots that are either funnels, oak flats, or ridges, or water sources right now because it's pretty dry, or anywhere that this public land, there might be a adjacent field. You can't ever hunt next to them because it's private, and you're looking for like they're maybe going from bedding to the feeding to bedding. We're trying to catch them in between. That's how we hunt this public land. It's not hunt on the edge of a field because they don't do it. So not where I'm at. They do have fields, but a lot of people as well, they flood to the edges of the field, the field edges. And I learned that when a youngster hunting public land, that I always got busted by other people and this and that. So I just try to get in between them. And that's what our goal has been. And get around bedding, not too close to them. Use your wind to your advantage, catching them coming to and from. Use your wind to your advantage, like I said. And if you can find a white oak, pin oak, that's heavily dropping, which we have a couple. And these water sources this year are very important because it's been so dry. So we're hunting around a lot of that. Also, river bottoms, like I hunted tonight. I just blew it, but I said river bottom. But that's where all these nettles were. And these deer, I've seen it in the past. It's weird. They'll come in and they'll just destroy them. You'll see it on the video where they're just nipping at those nettles. They take the tops right off of them. And it's like a smorgasbord for them. And I'm like, so we don't really hunt. Definitely not a crop situation. We're looking at catching them between travel corridors. It's going to change come every week.
Yep.
Because when they start chopping them fields down, the whole deal is going to change. Then we're looking at funnels, pitch points, forced routes. Still want water sources. Start paying attention to buck rubs, which I seen a couple nice buck rubs this weekend. Get those scrapes, get on them, and that's what we do when we go out and hunt public land. You're always looking at, there's a sign right here that I didn't see a week before. Okay, maybe I better pay attention to this. Mobile hunting, get on it. So that's what that's our thing.
Awesome. And next question I was going to ask, and Ray, you already kind of touched on it a little bit, but you saw some rubs out there. Any other sign, scrapes, anything like that you come across?
Oh yeah, we've got a couple on private, and when we were walking out tonight, this is our first set on this public land because we changed it up. Sure enough, we go down this edge of this field, and I'm like, look, bang, bang, bang. There's like 3 of them, and I'm like, I told Chad on the way out, I said, dude, we could set right here, and a couple of beds, and they're scraping and they're rubbing. So it's on.
When I went out scouting, beginning of September, I did come across a couple scrapes at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bill, what about you? Any rut sign?
Definitely. I've got a couple. So I mean, it's extremely early, but I've even got a couple of trail cam pictures with littler bucks face down right behind a doe.
Knock it off.
I'm telling you. And so I found a couple of fresh scrapes, extremely fresh. They're starting to hit their rub lines again, because I got a rub line right down the trail I walked down, and it's probably 15 yards in, and they're starting to get freshened back up. I don't know if it's the cooler weather this year. It's coming in early, but I think we're going to end up having a solid early rut this year.
Okay.
I will add, only in the last 3 years, I ordered the actual Red Moon app.
Okay.
Even though that moon was a half moon, which is always a quarter or a half moon, it is a red moon phase this weekend. If you look at the red moon phase, and I've been paying attention to that, every time there's a red moon phase, these deer are up and moving. And like you said, Bill, it's colder than we've had in the past. When have you had it on when it's been nice and cool? Great opening weekend. Last weekend was terrible hot. It got cool. And then next weekend, this coming up next weekend, cold.
Big temperature swing Wednesday into Thursday.
Yep.
And then even Thursday into Friday. I think Wednesday, at least up my way, it's going to be like in the 70s. And then Thursday, highs in the low 50s. Then the Friday, 40s.
So, man, we're going to have to cuddle up.
Snuggles.
That's right. Deer camp coming up this weekend. Just a couple days, actually. Wednesday, we all meet up. So that's going to be fun.
Yep.
All right. So we're getting close to 10 o'clock here. So thank you guys for staying late. But just a couple more questions here. So, well, really just one because you guys already talked about it. But you talked about covering up your scent and calling and those type of things. Are you guys did you use any scents this weekend? Did you put anything out to try to attract any kind of deer pee or anything like that? Or did you just go in and just sit?
I'll start. I didn't use anything till tonight. I got in the tree and I used buck baits. It was like the buck urine or whatever. I just squirted it on the tree just for another cover up or some kind of smell. Did it help? There was does that came in, but I did use it. I believe it's just like me using my grunt calls. I did it tonight. A lot of people are like, dude, you're using them so early. Well, he didn't get me on video, but I told him, I said, well, you'll hear in the video. You're going to have to bleep it out. But I'm like, those calls work. And just anything I can do to make it work, it worked. So, yeah, I used it a little bit tonight. That was it, though. Not the rest of it. These signs that I'm seeing as far as these buck rubs and the scrapes.
It's early.
I want to see scrapes continuously being hit.
Yeah.
And buck rubs aren't always a sign that that's where they're traveling all the time. A lot of bucks are wandering all around and they're searching and they're hitting trees and this and that. But when you see scrape lines, pay attention to that. Yep.
Right on. Bill, did you try anything like that this weekend or too early for you yet?
The closest I got to any kind of scent or attractant was the PB&J this afternoon. But I didn't drop any jelly or anything. I ate that whole thing.
That's funny.
No, other than that, no. It's I did hear I had a little guy grunting around this morning though. Probably yearling buttonbuck or something. I heard him kind of going around, but it's still a little early. You know, another week or so, I'll break out the grunt call, and you know, especially as these temps start dropping down a little more. You know, they're going to start getting a little more active, getting in their routines. This is my favorite part of the year, though. You go up opening day, watch them all summer. Well, now we're starting to get these colder temperatures. Now they're gonna completely do a 180. They're gonna change their travel routines, their travel routes. They're gonna, this here is so important anymore. Now they're gonna start running this side of the property. They're gonna run through here. You know, now it's the cat and mouse game.
Right. Awesome. Well, cool. Well, I mean, it sounds like you guys, Ray, you tagged one.
I got work to do.
You got some work to do. Bill, you had some pretty good action, passed up a nice buck, it sounds like, tonight. You know, maybe you'll get another crack at him.
The more and more I sit here and think about it, Tim, I'm kind of a little sad.
Hey, it's
early. The right thing. It's a long season.
It's still early.
Yep.
That's right.
I wouldn't have shot anything, but I got the big doe came in. I'm like, okay, she's going down.
Yep. Well, awesome. It's always good to put venison in the freezer, that's for sure. So, Brenda, hey, thanks for watching us tonight. We appreciate it.
Good night, Brenda.
But yeah, thank you guys. We're gonna be heading up to deer camp on Wednesday. So next weekend we'll be out of pocket because there's no good cell service up there. But bear with us. Hopefully we'll have some fun reports when we come back from deer camp. But we're just gonna get together, have a good time, and hopefully tag a deer or two. So good luck, everybody, as you continue your season, and stay with us for more reports.
Best of luck, y'all. Thanks for chiming in.
Peace.
Peace.